Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jeanette. Let's give thanks to the Lord for this channel and for the rich content to bless each of us all. So let's go to topic review. This is episode of 2 of 1 of 3. Um, what we actually talked about last time was balancing our emotions with our word of 2022 in the way how we make decisions, in our choices, and in our intentions. So, how would we be more mindful about this? Let's continue with something else first. I actually would like to thank everybody that contributed in the comment section. Such positive vibes, such wonderful words. Thank you so much. And now let's get continuing on with what we're going to talk about today. So, we're going to talk about negative emotions. Yes, negative emotions. Negative emotions is something we're going to discuss, and it's not something that a lot of people like talking about, but you know what? Sometimes we have to be so careful with our negative emotions when we're around people because it can destroy relationships. It could destroy your career and the way your behavior and your attitude is with others, and also even yourself. Your attitude, your behavior, and your words used should be something that you're building up in positive experiences, not something that you want to destroy. Now, we're going to focus on the 3 to 5 words that I mentioned from our first video in this series. Now, today what we're going to talk about is these 3 words: fear, rejection, anger, and now let's begin to discuss it. First of all, when we talk about fear, fear is an emotion. It actually creates a feeling of anxiety and stress and the inability for us to capture your dreams. Now, next to fear, the thing that we should try is this process. When you're facing fear in your situation and the obstacle, what you need to do is to just take a deep breath. Maybe even take a deep breath and count from 1 to 10. After you do that, just embrace yourself first before you respond and just stop. Ask yourself this: how can I actually relate differently to this situation, this obstacle, or this problem that I might be facing? Another step to go consider in step 3 is to ask, is this out of my control of this certain situation? How can I best refocus my mind in thinking more positively of the actual outcome I'd like to see? And then the last step of step 4 is, what will my reaction be? Think about, maybe having more of a positive response to better make yourself more clear in making decisions and wise choices so that your experience is not as negative as it might appear to be. When you position yourself in a state of mindfulness, and that's a key word to remember, and practice these steps, you will gain success. And the level of success that you'll gain is in all the situations you might experience, the challenges, or even the obstacles that you might face in your everyday life. The other word I'll talk about here is rejection. On the other hand, with rejection, it's an emotional response that targets your self-esteem. So I would really say stop immediately. Just stop and quickly readjust yourself. Think by using your mindset, which is your mind, and maybe use affirmations. This is something that I've done with myself as an example. Here's an example for you. I am loved and I make a difference in this world. Don't ever be ashamed. Say it out. Another thing you could say is, I have exceptional gifts, talents, and skills to offer. No matter if somebody says no, there's going to be somebody else that's going to say yes. What you should always remember is never ever think you're not good enough, because you know what? You're so special and you matter so much, and you're a creative genius in everything that you do. And this is how and what God has created you to be and to become. So always be confident in times when you feel a little stressed or you don't feel as confident. Feel confident. Try your best and don't give up, because you know what? Failure is not something that you should look and be ashamed of. Failure is something that you should look at and say, okay, it didn't work, so guess what? I'm going to try again, and then maybe I'll succeed in that the next time, maybe two times, or maybe even the third time you'll be even successful. Now let's move to the next word, which is anger. Wow. Now this is a real heavy word. Ah, anger. Let's see here. It's a hard emotion for us to control, but on the other hand, there's other words that actually come into anger, like stress, frustration, and once all that's mixed up, it could make us be in a very uncomfortable state. So let's think of a few different strategies we could use. So maybe number one, self evaluate your interaction with your reaction. Number two, think about how is it going to affect your state in the present moment and actually the one people around you. And then number three, realize this is only temporary, that you're going to feel this emotion. And then number four, what emotional triggers is bringing this on, why I'm feeling at this level of anger. Some people start at level 1, some people go to level 10. Well, we really don't want to go to level 10, but this happens at times, depending on the situation or what challenges we might face. Things like this happen when we become angry. So 5, stop. Because a lot of times when you get into this state, you have this negative sense of that negative self-talk that comes in. Stop it immediately. Number 6, what about behavior patterns? Because you know what? It's not acceptable to have such a negative attitude that is going to be a negative effect on others. So you need to stop immediately. Now, as we go through some of these emotions, and we really, really need to be so careful in how we manage them, especially the negative ones. Relationships are so special and can be destroyed right away, and you need to know how to balance that, and you need to know how to maintain by being so careful with the choice of words that you use and what kind of attitude you're displaying at the same time, because you know what, sometimes we're very selfish as individuals and very self-centered, and we only think of me, myself, and I. And then in the moment of while all of this is going on, we end up having regret because of things we've said that we never meant to say, and the hurt we bring on to other people. So to conclude this actual um, series today, I want to give you a couple things also to just be mindful of. Number one, never let your emotions overtake you. That's something that comes with practice. You try and you try again, and you know what? You'll be successful. It's just something to be mindful of. And number two, say no to yourself when you feel yourself getting in any of these states of emotions that would arise within you. And number three, try to adjust your attitude and think on positive things. I know sometimes it's a little difficult depending on what's going on, but we have to learn to try to balance that and maintain some equal balance. Number four, take a deep breath. And when you take a deep breath, just think before you speak. Um, when you think before you speak, you won't have regret. And be careful of the choice of words you use. It could be very hurtful and very damaging in whatever situation you might encounter. And as you're being mindful and you're calm and before reacting, that would be number 5. Just take it a step at a time. And number 6, practice, practice, practice self-control. When you practice self-control, once you do this, it becomes easy for you. you'll be able to overcome whatever state of negative emotional state you might be in, and you'll be able to flip things really quickly into the positive. And number 7, when you achieve this, reward yourself. And you could reward yourself with so many things, but know one thing: you should be proud of yourself, because it's not easy. It's something that you just have to keep practicing over and over again. And one thing I'm going to say just to end this, because negative emotions really take a toll in our lives, I'm just going to say one little simple prayer is: today I pray that God will touch each and every one of you to recognize the negative emotions that arise from within you, and that as it arises from within you, that you're able to be slow to respond with your chosen words, and to be very mindful, and just to act in love. And I actually want to say thank you so much today for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. And what I really love about this channel is we're going to stay tuned for part 3 of this wonderful series of how we balance our emotions. And you can look at that on January the 30th, would be actually the new topic on January 30th. But to follow up on part 3, that is going to be on this Friday of January the 28th. Thank you so much for watching again. Bye for now.